calling these plays?
Well, I mean, I think the tweets are an indication that what happened last week with the Flynn indictment did get in the president's head a little bit. But in my reporting, I've also found that people close to the president believe that he's sort of internalized this idea that he's impervious to consequences, that everything will work out in the end, and that he really does, to some extent, believe his attorney, Ty Cobb, when he says just cooperate. Things will work out just fine. This will all be over soon. Now, there's obviously some tension within the president's legal team about the strategy, and the president is also having a lot of conversations with people outside the White House, Steve Bannon and other close friends who are warning him, you know, you need to be defensive about this. This is serious. This is not just a collusion case. This is about obstruction of justice as well, and you really need to be defensive about this, whatever they think that means. But clearly the president sort of goes back and forth. He obviously wants this to go away. He does get agitated about this, but the official White House line, we heard it again this afternoon from Sarah Huckabee Sanders, is that the president is cooperating. And asked specifically about the tweets, his tweets about the FBI being in tatters, she said that no, he doesn't believe that. He thinks Director Wray is doing a great job. He's mainly referring to the former political leadership and Jim Comey, a nemesis of the president's, I think it's safe to say at this point. But one of the things that Bannon and these friends outside the White House are urging him to do, and really sending the signals to other people in that network to do, and with Sean Hannity, they are saying it is time to go after Mueller and to smear Mueller and to raise those questions about the credibility of this ongoing special counsel probe, because they believe that if charges are brought, if they do find an obstruction of justice case, that the president's way to get out of it is going to be if public opinion, those 35% of Americans who are with him, if those people still believe what Trump is saying, and they discount Mueller, and they believe that Mueller and the media are sort of on this witch hunt, if they can convince enough people of that, Trump may survive whatever Mueller finds.
I sometimes feel like I've fallen down the bottom of Alice in Wonderland's rabbit hole when I see Republicans who are well aware of Bob Mueller's record. Sean Hannity knows exactly what Bob Mueller has done for this country. Leave his war record aside in Vietnam. He protected this country after 9/11. And the hypocrisy of the party who clapped really, 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 really loudly when Donald Trump gave his bat bleep crazy convention speech about law and order, attacking the top law enforcement officials in the country is staggering to me.
Couple points. Prosecutors in this country have tremendous power, and they should not be beyond criticism. But this isn't criticism. This is a premeditated, deliberate, dishonest smear of Robert Mueller, a man who has spent his entire life in public service, who is known, if for nothing else, his probity and his rectitude. And we should talk about his war record, because he's put his life on the line for this country, and he's conducted himself at all times as an honorable servant of the American people. He is a recipient of the Bronze Star with the Valor device. He is a recipient of the Purple Heart. He was wounded in combat for the United States. What you're seeing on Fox News is indistinct from the type of propaganda that you would be subjected to if you lived in Belarus or if you lived in Russia. It is dishonest. It is purposeful. It is misleading. And to see Republicans tie themselves to the mast on this, to bring such disrepute to the conservative movement, to the Republican Party, the assaults on the rule of law, on our institutions, this will get worse before it gets better. And there's a moment coming where these important institutions and who we are, what we stand for, what we believe in, the defense of the inheritance that was given to us by generations who've sacrificed so much is coming to the line. And what you saw Sean Hannity doing, it's wrong in the most profound way. It's very, very wrong.
It was pointed out to me, David Jolly, that it's also dangerous. A former diplomat said, you know, he proceeded in that segment to put up the photographs of the entire Mueller investigative team, men and women who have served this country, who've made probably, you know, far less in government than they would have made in private practice. He put up all their pictures and all their names. But I want to read you the tweet that sort of gets at what I